Lean Startup is a framework of different methodologies that develop business and product by adopting a combination of business, hypothesis driving, experimentation, iterative product release, and validated learning. This is Néstor Garra. I am an entrepreneur and I would like to explain you my experience applying Lean Startup in different organizations, not only in startups. Lean Startup is a group of different methodologies: business design, customer development, and agile development. It's very important to understand that these three different methodologies help us in order to create new products and services to create real value for customers. Let me explain you in 5 simple steps what is Lean Startup. First step, identify your beliefs about what must to be true in order to start up success. We call these assumptions. It's very important to understand that at the beginning you have an idea, a vision that you create value for your customer with your product. It's important to understand that at the beginning you have a lot of assumptions. You have something that is not true at the moment, or we don't know if this is true or not in the market. Second step, design experiments to test your assumptions as fast as we can. We call these experiments MVP, Minimal Viable Products. But it's very important to understand that MVP, Minimal Viable Products, is not really a product, it's experiments. It's important to understand that MVP is to learn, not to scale. So focus to create MVP in order to understand the most important thing that the customer really wants. Third step, think like a scientist. Understand the result of our experiments, data learned. It's important to understand that the data is the real things that we need to do to create new business. We call this validated learning. Validated learning is the result of experiments that show us the real world and to help us to create a real business model to create value for customer. Number 4, step 4, work in a loop. Build, measure, and learn. Try to do as quick as possible to learn fast. It's important that loop, build, measure, and learn help us to validate not only one assumption, validate all assumptions that we have in our idea, in our vision. And number 5, review every 2 weeks the validated learning in order to pivot our ideas, in order to change the business model. Validate our ideas is very important, because if you have a product that is working in your world but not create value for the customer, at the end of the day you don't have a business. It's very important to understand that the product is not really your product. Your product is all a business model. It's very important to understand that you must manage this business model in order to create this value for customer. There are 5 principles of Lean Startup. First one, entrepreneurs are everywhere. You don't have to be a garage to be a startup. This is stupid. Entrepreneurs are in General Electric, in Telefonica, in Amazon, in a big company. Entrepreneurs everywhere. So entrepreneur is attitude. It's not about garage. Second one, entrepreneurship is management. A startup is a temporary organization that's looking for a repeatable and scalable business model, not just to develop a product. So this requires a new management, new kind of management, specifically to understand the customer in our uncertain context. Number 3, validate learning. Startup exists to learn how to build a sustainable business model. This kind of learning needs to validate it by experiments to allow us to test each element of the business model that we have. So the goal of a startup is validate learning. Number 4, innovation accounting. The innovation accounting is to understand if we are going to progress in the correct way when we don't have the typical indicator of the business or typical traditional indicator of business. For example, customer, revenues, ROI, different indicators that the usual have the business that is working. But you don't have a business, you have a startup. So who you know that is going in the correct way? Innovation accounting help us in this way. And the number 5 is the loop, build, measure, learn. is a loop to help us in order to validate all hypotheses that we have in our business model. Let me explain you in the next video the two important causes in the Lean Startup. It's a business model Kanban and customer development methodologies.